I'm smoking on platinum. Got my eye on the prize, so I don't do distractions. I'm coming back.
Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. It's playoff time. Got a lot of good games. Week 18. Some teams are in. Some teams are out. Yo, what it do? It's your boys, Juice and Lou. We back here with another show for y'all. Banger. Man, this will be fun. As promised, it's playoff time. It is playoff time. Week 18 was full of bangers, man. Steelers are in. Steelers are in the playoffs, and I ain't got too much to say about that. Even though we're gonna dive, that's not really the game we want to dive into. Before we get to the playoffs, I'm trying to dive in this one game real quick. The final game of Week 18.
That's your Colts.
Chargers Raiders. That was just a phase. It was just a phase. You get beat up by the Jets. When you get beat up by the Jets like that, you deserve nothing. I ain't gonna lie. Jags. They both equally stink. So, but getting beat up by the Jags like that, you don't deserve anything. But Chargers and Raiders, man, oh man, Raiders looked like they was running away with it, and then Chargers went on a run. Justin Herbert was playing the game of his life. Tied it up at the final seconds of the game. Brought it to OT. Mm-hmm. They go down, they kick a field goal, and then you go down and you kick a field goal. It's a tie game, 32-32. Raiders have the ball. They running it. Like 2 minutes left. I'm like, they run it. I'm like, okay. And then they run it again. I'm like, okay. There's like no sense of urgency, but they're already in field goal range. So it's like, why not? And then they run it again. I'm like, oh, they gonna let it go. I was like, they're gonna let it go. They're gonna take the tie. Both of y'all going to playoffs. I was the happiest person in the world. I can't say what I want to say, but forget you, Steelers. You ain't making no play. You ain't making no wild card, no playoffs, no nothing. I was gonna be happy. And then I hear a whistle. I'm like, it was like a flag or something, like, And then it says, timeout Chargers. I said, no way. No way. I'm guessing his thought process is you get another stop and then get the ball back. They're in field goal range regardless. Why would you call a timeout? What's the purpose? What's the purpose in that? You call a timeout, then you're going to get the ball back. They're in field goal range already. They could have been ended you. They was like, nah, why not? Don't nobody really have to win here. We'll both make the playoffs regardless. So let's just run it out. Let's just run it out. The coach sold that. You can see the pain in Austin Eckler's face, the pain in Jay Herbo, the pain in all their faces, because it was like you can see them asking them. He was like, "Y'all really gonna need it?" And they were like, "Yeah," and they were just like, "Wow." So did you think? I mean, I ain't even gonna ask that question. So obviously that wasn't the right move, to me at least. Do you think that timeout was the right move?
Well, in an interview after the game, actually, he said he called a timeout to get the right run defense personnel out on the field. Obviously, I mean, you want to do that. Problem was the Raiders, after the timeout, they actually moved for a good 12 yards after the timeout, which got them into field goal range anyways. So the Raiders thinking you talked about Derek Carr, he said that they were thinking about the tie, of course. In that situation, they didn't have to kick the field goal around. They were approaching the Chargers territory, I think around the 47. When timeout was called, and they broke off for the run, and they just kept running after that, and then got a little bit closer. Daniel Carlson obviously iced the game. And yeah, it was end of that. I mean, the call was situational is bad because I mean, I understand you want to get your personnel, but you gotta know what you're playing for. I mean, if they were gonna, if I saw, well, I knew second run play before the timeout, they wouldn't get that much yards. I mean, I would probably just leave the defensive personnel out there. But he called timeout for like it was needed, switched, and he got it. They gave up the run anyways. So I think throughout the game though, it was a good game because Chargers fought hard near the end. They converted on I think 4 fourth downs that final drive, which is
Yeah.
crazy
Yeah.
because I thought the Raiders had them multiple times in that fourth quarter and overtime. It looked like, but Justin Herbert made big plays with his arm. Obviously, we're not going to see that in the playoffs. I know at the beginning of the year, I did have them making the playoffs as a dark horse, maybe going to the Super Bowl. You know, Brandon Staley, it is his first year as a head coach. He was a defensive coordinator for the Rams, but this year, first year head coach. We need to work on the run defense, obviously, next year, get that straightened up. And their offense was pretty solid this year. I'll give them that. It was pretty good for a defensive coordinator coach. So I think they'll be all right going into the future. Just he's a first year head coach. I'll cut him a little bit slack, but it did cost him a playoff spot.
Man, they would have been playing they would have been seventh. They would have been playing the Chiefs. They got a real better chance over the Chiefs than the Steelers do. But then again, this season, anything's happened this season. So it's like
Yes,
any given
sir.
Sunday, man. It's like any given Sunday. But without further ado, let's just go ahead. Let's dive into these first wild card games. So of course we got the Tennessee, Green Bay. They on their bye weeks. They're chilling. Right now on Saturday games, we got the Raiders and Bengals first. I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know because this is got an underrated quarterback. I really don't know. It's like a on fire Bengals team, but it's their first time in the playoffs. I don't know if not a lot of people on that squad that got playoff experience. Everybody's young, especially that offense. That offense don't got no playoff experience for sure. So it's like, I mean, but then again, do the Raiders? Besides like 20, I think it was 14. Besides that, they don't got no experience like that either. So it's like it's a battle. Do I think it's going to be high scoring? No, I don't. And I like the Bengals. They spanked us 2 times this year. I like the Bengals. I don't see them winning just off experience alone. Just based off experience alone, I think Derek Carr goes out and does his thing. I think he goes out and does his thing. I think Raiders win off a last second. I don't know if I want to go field goal or touchdown. I think Raiders win off last second field goal.
My God, Juice. You just lack knowledge here. I think the Bengals touchdowns possibly in this game. Week 11 they played. They dropped 21 on them. 32-13 or 19 point win. Jamar Chase has gotten really good since then. He only had 3 catches that game for 32 yards and a touchdown. This game, Waller actually played. Darren Waller, he hasn't played in the last 6 weeks for the Raiders, 6 to 8 weeks. He had 7 catches, 116 yards. If Waller doesn't play, they really only have to guard Renfro.
Mm-hmm.
Bengals D-Line has been pretty good this year. The Raiders, their problem is their secondary. You saw the D-Line get pressure. Justin Herbert in the game. Obviously, that's why they won. In my opinion, I think their D-line played spectacular. As Max Crosby said, they said he got a lot of dogs on the D-line. I agree. They get after the quarterback, but their secondary had a great year. Chase, Higgins, starting it. Let me read y'all the stats. Raiders this game, just from the receivers. Boyd only had 49 yards. Chase already said 32. Higgins had 15. Want to know where they killed him at? Killed him on the ground. Mixon had 30 carries that game. They ran the ball as a team 37 times for 150 yards. Joe Burrow played solid. 20, 29, 150, a touchdown, 0 picks. Joe Mixon killed him. I think it's just too much of a mismatch. That offense will be too much for the Raiders to handle. And if Waller doesn't play, like I said, I think it's 2 touchdown win in Cincy's house. I think Joe Burrow's going to be fired up. They won the division. I can't remember the last time they won the division. So I think Joe Burrow has a lot to play for here. This is his first playoffs off the ACL, MCL. He's arguably comeback player of the year. He's arguably won that award this year. I think the Bengals, like I said, I may take it even further. I think they could be the scariest team in the AFC. And the top seeds, like the Chiefs and the Titans, the 1 and 2 seeds. They already beat the Chiefs not too long ago. So I have a lot of hope for them. I think Joe Burrow's the type of quarterback who can get it done. I got Cincy this Saturday.
The scariest in the AFC. Out of the top seeds, that's tough. But hey, that's one and one. We on different sides. Okay, that's one game. Next Saturday game, right after that, we got the Pats, we got the Bills. They split the season series. Patriots absolutely embarrassed them first game. And then the Bills came back with a vengeance in the second game. And now they meet again. And this gonna be tough. It's tough. In the Bills' house, right? The Bills' house.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like it's gonna be. I don't know the forecast for Saturday night up there. Depending on the weather, depends on who wins this game. I feel like it's.
I just did my research. I did my research before. It will be 30% chance of snow, but the highest temperature is 15. That's the highest it can get to. And it'll be at night. So it won't be 15. It'll probably be around 7 and 5.
Give me Belichick. Give me the Pats. I like the Pats. Belichick always prepares his players in all types of weather games. I think I heard not last year. I think actually no, it was last year when we played the Pats. We lost to them because he prepared them in rain. He prepared them in rain. It was like a tsunami. They beat us like it was nothing. I got Belichick. Belichick in any weather games, I'm taking him. Anything with the weather is in a factor, I'm taking Belichick every single time because he knows and he's ready and he prepares his team. Just like game 1 where they embarrassed them by throwing the ball 3 times. Man, give me Belichick.
You don't think that will fire up the Bills?
No. I don't see that. I don't see it. I think Josh Allen's going to throw too much. I feel like his receivers are going to have ice hands. And, outside of Stephon Diggs, of course. But everybody else, I just don't see it. Unless the Bills match them in runs, I think Patriots get it. Well, because we know they're not going to match them in the same amount of runs. We know they're not. So
This is a tough game for me. I'm not gonna lie. A couple weeks ago, I'd say the, but I seen the Bills against the Falcons. Yeah, I know it's the Falcons, but it snowed like crazy that game. And Josh Allen played great. He had 2 rushing touchdowns that game.
Russian.
2 rushing that was more points than they had when they played the Pats in the win. Obviously, the Pats defense is better than the Falcons, but there's promise. Like, I know Bill Belichick. I mean, he's a great defensive coach. I think they'll try their best again to neutralize Allen. Obviously, I don't know the wins right now, but I don't think it will be as bad as it was when they first played this season. I just can't see Mac Jones outplaying Josh Allen in the playoffs. Not this year, at least. I think Diggs has a lot to prove. He was one of the guys last year in the AFC Championship who watched the Chiefs walk off and celebrate with their AFC crown. So I think he has a lot of vengeance. I think the Bills and all, like their defense, I think they'll come ready to play this time. They know what they're going to do. And the Patriots, I just think their defense is good, but I think their offense lacks the superstar talents this season. I got Bills in a close game. I'd say 3 or 7. They win by 3 or 7.
That's another head-to-head. We keeping track. Moving on to Sunday. First game on Sunday. We got the Bucs and Eagles. I have absolutely nothing to say about this game. I have absolutely nothing.
No Minshew mania, Hope.
I have absolutely nothing to say about this game at all. Like, it may be a little bit of a struggle because, the Chris Godwin injury. You lost AB, of course. But you still got Brady. I have nothing else to say. It's pretty obvious that who's going to win this game. So, give me Bucs, clearly.
Okay. See, this kind of reminds me of the Washington game last year when Heineke played good against Brady and the Bucs. I think, but obviously they couldn't stop that offense last year. I mean, they won the Super Bowl. I think this can sum up my decision. Eagles reveal their true feelings on Tom Brady and calls him any other quarterback. And that's why you will lose Sunday.
I didn't even know they said that.
Well, fashion. Even though they will be at home they'll be on the road. My bad. So, yeah, I think obviously it's hard to bet against Brady. But I just don't trust their offense with Minshew or Hurts. I honestly don't know who's starting right now. I think I'm assuming Minshew. He's played some good games this regular season, but it's Tom Brady right now. He's in that mode. He's going to be in that mode during the playoffs. Without AB, of course, but still got Evans and Rob Gronkowski, who usually turns it up a notch in the playoffs. So give me the Bucs.
Yeah, I didn't even know the Eagles said that. So they were really in for it now. I ain't gonna lie. Moving on to the game after that. This is gonna be a good one. I ain't gonna lie. Niners versus Cowboys. Cowboys is looking like a great defensive team, but I'd say for the first time in forever, depending on how the offense plays, depends on if they win this game or not. Nick Bosa and all them boys over on the front D-line, they're back. They're back, and they look good. They look like how they did 2 years ago. That offense, Deebo Samuel, that's your QB1, RB1, wide receiver 1. He's whatever you need him to be. He can do it all. Brandon Ayuk, you got him. You got Jimmy G. Whoever's quarterback plays better will win. I'll say that. But
say that for a lot of teams.
not really, because like we said before, Josh Allen outplayed Mac Jones. They won. So it's really who knows, I mean, it's tough. Both defense. I mean, I'd take the Niners defense over the Cowboys defense any day of the week. But can we really trust Dak? Dak has had his games where he's like, oh, MVP. And then he has his other games where it's like, head scratch. Then you got Zeke. It seems like a running back competition, even though it's not. But it seems like this year it seemed like it. It seemed like it. I think I like the Cowboys. Just off straight talent. Just off straight talent. They have too many offensive talented weapons to be able to lose this game. It's just too much. Like, it's hard to explain because it's like both quarterbacks will have up and down weeks, but it happens to Jimmy G more so than Dak. So I would have to take the boys, the Cowboys. So
Okay. I think you're crazy for thinking the Niners defense is better than the Cowboys defense this year. But that's just me. I think Parsons, Lawrence, Gregory be too much for Jimmy G in passing. I'd give them their best chance. The Niners, they got to have a lead to start the game. That's their best chance. If they're playing from behind, I do not see Jimmy G getting it done. Debo had a great year. He came back off injury late this season, but he's definitely turned it on some games. Obviously, if you neutralize one of them, I think, and the run game, I think it will be easy sailing. Now, offensively for the Cowboys, they've had their ups and downs, like you said, but I think they're starting to get a little bit healthy. They rested some of their players last week against the Eagles. I think Zeke, his knee has been bothering him towards the end of the season, but I think with some extra rest this Sunday, I think he'll be able to perform well. I think Dak, he'll have a solid game. I don't expect him to do a lot because, like I said, I just don't believe in Jimmy G going on the road and getting it done himself. That it would have to be an extravagant team effort, in my opinion. But it's definitely possible. So I got the Cowboys. I say in a close one. I say under 10 total match, break even or not.
I feel that. Next game, just like the Bucks and Eagles, I have nothing to say. Not only because I hate the Steelers, but I mean, look at the matchup. Let's be real here. Let's be real. Okay, TJ Watt. Let's be real. Okay, like TJ Watt, he's going to win DPOY. As much as that hurts to say, he's going to. But Big Ben, you had a chance to, you could have went out on top, but the Chargers called a timeout, and now you have to go out on the L. That's tough, man. That's tough. And then to the Chiefs of all people, I have nothing to say. Chiefs. That's all I gotta say. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, they played earlier, not too long ago, actually. And the Chiefs mopped them badly. At one point, it was like 31-0 in that game. I just don't. The Steelers' offense doesn't have the firepower to keep up, and obviously the defense wasn't as good as last year, but they're still okay. They just can't stop you can't stop the Chiefs every possession. It's just not gonna happen. TJ, he's gonna win DPOY. I agree. He was second behind Myles Garrett for me to start the season. But he played great this season. Steelers, Big Ben had a okay season. Obviously, they're in the playoffs. Mike Tomlin hasn't had a losing record still to this day. So we'll see how this game goes. But Big Ben did say before the game, he was obviously joking, but he was just basically he was counting himself out. He was talking about how no one had predicted us to be here. He was saying we're probably the 14th best team, and there's only 14 teams in the playoffs. So he's already putting a lot of he's getting his retirement speech ready. It sounded like because it sounded like he didn't have a lot of faith. Obviously, he tried to make it jokingly, but come on, deep down, it'll be hard. It'll be hard to win. I got Kansas City.
Yeah, it's another thing. The Steelers, they start too late. Like, they start too late. The third quarter comes around. Like, the first half, just like, yo, what are you doing? And the third quarter is like, oh, well, I guess they got some life, but they just start too late. You can't start late against the Chiefs. You just can't. Unless the Chiefs start off like the same as you. But, last game on Monday, Cardinals and Rams, another divisional matchup. Ooh, I think they split the season series too.
Yes,
They split the season series too. Because it's like Cardinals, I'm not really 100% on, but Matthew Stafford alone, I'm not 100% on. I'll still take the Rams though, just strictly because of defense. Got Ramsey on D-Hop. That's their own people. That's it. Other than that, okay, AJ Green, Rondale Moore. Okay, they got the weapons and stuff, but it's like, can you really trust them? Can you really trust? I don't really trust them. I haven't been sold on them since I think the first 5 weeks when they were number one in power rankings. I still wasn't sold on them, and I'm gonna go with the Rams just because I think it's been a while since Matthew Stafford was in the playoffs, but he just has the better offense, I believe, on paper. Yeah, I think Matthew Stafford has the better offense here. So the better offense is going to win, and the better defense is going to win. As talented as the Cardinals are, give me the Rams. Give me the Rams by last second touchdown to OBJ. give me the Rams, man.
Okay. Yeah, I'm taking Los Angeles as well. I have high hopes for them this playoffs. Actually, D-Hop's out this Sunday or no Monday game. Will not be playing. He's still battling hamstring issues, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, they're for sure done.
So yeah, the running backs. I mean, James Conner, he has a heel injury, but he's questionable right now. And Chase Edmonds also has ribs and toe injury. He didn't practice today. So the running backs the team's definitely on offense is a little hurt, banged up. But that's just a part of football, obviously. A little bit of luck has to go into it. Who knows? Kyler Murray may pull something out his hat. They won once in that game. He played great. The offense was rolling that game. Obviously, D-Hop and Connor played, but they rolled that game. But the Rams did get the revenge not too long ago. But I just have a lot of high hopes for the Rams because they got a lot of veterans. They got left tackle. Got his name right now. But he's getting up there in age. Oh, Andrew Whitworth. He's getting up in age. He's 40. Got Von Miller. He's getting up there. Aaron Donald's 30, 31. Matthew Stafford, he's 32, 33. So they got a lot of aging veterans. I think they want to win for them. Cooper Kupp had a historic season, finished top 3 in all receiving categories that mattered: catches, yards, receiving. So I got Rams winning this game. I think Matthew Stafford balls out, though. He has a good game.
I
3
think he
touchdowns.
does. Especially if that loss last week, that underthrown pick, that didn't look pretty. I think he's going to bounce back. But, hey, man, I think that's going to wrap up this episode, man. Let us know what you guys think down below. We got 2 head-to-heads. We're going to see who wins, or if we tie, who knows. But
Bengals, Raiders,
Bills, Patriots. So, I mean, we're going to see how that goes. Be back next week with more. We're going to be back next week with more the semis. So we're just going to, we'll see you then. Until then,
the Biz
it's Juice and Lou, and we out of here. Peace.